When a severe storm hits, hail and high-speed winds can cause excessive damage to your home. This can lead to blown-off shingles, broken windows, siding damage, and leaking inside. If you suspect your home has been hit with storm damage, contact CNN Construction today. We are a proud GAF Master Elite contractor, offering free exterior home inspection for storm-related damages. CNN is a reputable licensed roofing and general contractor working hand-in-hand with insurance companies and homeowners every step of the way through the difficult claims and restoration process. We will meet with your insurance adjuster to discuss the damages to your property, the value of those repairs, and the scope of work needed at your home. Our skilled team has you covered and will leave your home looking brand new. Give us a call today at 844-415-ROOF or visit our website at cnroofs.com for a free exterior inspection. CNN Construction. We find the solutions, not the excuses.
Hang on a second, guys. One second.
What up?
We've got to give a shout out to South Nashville Heating and Cooling.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Friend and supporter, show and proof. Also, the longest running sponsor of I Got Some Shit to Say the podcast.
Absolutely. Look, man, South Nashville Heating and Cooling, where quality and craftsmanship come together. They've been doing this since 1985. That's almost 40 years of service. Expert designs, quality installation, superior service.
Absolutely.
And let me tell you something.
What's that?
Tell me.
I feel confident in the fact that South Nashville Heating and Cooling will keep me warm in the winter.
For sure.
It'll keep me cool in the summer.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, these middle months, you'll be comfortable even then.
Absolutely, dude.
Y'all know the deal, man. South Nashville Heating and Cooling. We love those guys. Y'all see the name. Y'all see the number. Tap in.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Always.
Stop!
It's I Got Some Shit to Say the podcast, man. We're back like we don't stop, because trust us, we never do. All we do is work. Y'all know me.
Fuck you, Squints.
That's right, R.I.P.
Whizzle fizzle.
Forever and always. With me as usual, down on the end of the couch, I got my guy.
ChadArmesTV.com.
Stamped.
Of course. And Chad, you want to get this off? Oh, man.
Let's go.
Long time coming. We've been reaching for this one for a long time. It's finally happened.
Absolutely.
It's Lito in the fucking building.
Round of applause. Let's go. Yeah, dog.
Woo! How are you, sir?
I'm all right.
Sorry for the excitement, but it's a long time coming, Lito. We wanted you here for a long time.
Yeah, man.
I'm here.
The list is getting shorter, Chatty.
No, for sure.
Check it off.
Yeah, after off camera, we was talking to Lito, which he tuned in. He said the first part of the trip episode where he was talking about the list, and he's definitely one of the ones that's been on it from day one. Man, I've said it to multiple people. He's been he's in my top 5 and has been for 20 years. So
Major fact.
Yeah, you're a big influence to what.
Shout out Logan Garrett. Yeah. Got to get that off.
Absolutely.
It's crazy, bro. We've had like so many affiliates of Lito here. Like go through them.
Trap.
Yeah, Trap's been through here. Troy Money. Yep. Logan's been here. Fate's been here a couple times. Like, and Fate would have grind hard piece over here just to flex on me that night.
We almost had Coop, but he came through when he was in town for the holidays, and it was like some scheduling. But Coop's a big fan of the show too. Salute to Coop.
It was literally like the day after Christmas, and just it didn't happen.
Too, but he
promised he's going to pull up on us though.
Yeah, Coop's the man.
So many affiliates that have dropped your name over the 3 years we've been doing this, but like Chad said, man, we're natives. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's nice to finally meet you. And I'm so glad we started this podcast for it to happen, especially myself.
No, for sure.
Fun fact. We had the moment we went to hit record.
It got sketched, didn't it?
I still ain't got my breath back. Like, I'm just...
Bro, what was so funny is Squints was so upset, stressed about it. And
panic, bro.
Lito was like, man, it's all
It's
good.
cool. Lito just jumped on the phone, was just chilling. And Fate and Logan Garrett are in the building as well. Fun fact. They're just laughing at me.
Shout out Fate and Logan, dude.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. But anyway, I'm so glad we got it working. But in reality, half the fucking audio of the whole podcast has stopped working. It's never been an issue before, ever.
Yeah. Hey, man, you know what? You go through them things sometimes.
I guess so.
I mean?
But we're out the mud over here, obviously.
Yeah, it's the Catalina wine mixer.
You know so what's been up there, Lito? Because man, people don't get to see your face much.
Yeah, man.
Nah, that's intentional, man. It's by design. Like You know, I speak when spoken to. If I don't have anything good to say, and I don't say nothing.
I feel you.
Talk growing up, and I mean, you know, when you do this, when you choose this career path, you know, it comes with a sacrifice of privacy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So whatever little piece of it I got, I try to hold on to. So
You've done a damn good job, Bubba.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I'd argue.
I'm sure you would.
Right.
Outside looking in, comparable, you know what I mean?
I'm saying it to say I don't court attention or I don't go out of my way to be seen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like whatever each person, whatever you might call normal, I just try to achieve that normal. My routine and my schedule at this point now in life is tethered based around my child. So
Yeah, man.
I do, you know what I'm saying, those things, and people might see me, cross paths with me there, or I mean, I do same regular stuff, but yeah, I'm not a like look at me or I don't share my life because that's where it is right now. Those are the times, but I didn't really grow up like that, so it's, you know what I'm saying, it's almost unnatural to me, especially when, you know, for what it's worth, and I think it's a good thing, but you know, I'll go out or pump some gas or do regular things, and somebody might think enough of me to want to take a picture with me. So
For sure.
then that's compromise. It's like, yeah, I was just doing some regular stuff, but you know, it's a moment for them and whatever. I embrace that, so I don't feel the need to like do that on my own.
I get it, man. Totally get it. But it's the most admirable shit ever, especially coming from a chair like this. Like, to see the way you move over the years, to see the way you kind of operated, but then, like you said, kind of like grown into the maturity part of it. You know what I'm saying? And how it's a different look, but it's you manage to not be seen when you don't want to be seen. I guess what it looks like from the consumer standpoint. For sure. Because every time you drop a record, the shit goes crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, every time Lito makes a noise, a peep, the shit goes crazy.
I mean, this is business. I ain't gonna cut you off.
No, you good, Bubba. Go ahead.
I think I learned that like probably first semester college, first business courses I took was like scarcity increases value. Something that stuck with me, and I wasn't really locked in school at that time. My freshman year of college, but I do remember that. I remember writing it down in my notes, and so it's that too. If you see me all the time and I'm accessible, then there's no excitement when I'm trying to present something to you. You know what I'm saying? If I'm giving you, I don't see value in me sharing my opinion on any and everything. Then when it's time for me to share my art, it's like, well, we tired of hearing you talk. You know what I'm saying? Or you got something to say about everything. So now the things are supposed to be important are made less of, I feel like. So that's a thought behind it.
I hope some of these artists are taking notes right now.
Yeah, that's real. That's real though.
From the artist aspect, so many of them think, or all of them, on the majority part, think completely opposite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's they.
But you're right. It's like the louder the bark, the less the bite, or some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
probably that too.
You know what I mean?
I think people, when they get to, like what he was talking about, when they get to that status with their art, I guess some people feel like they should. Well, people want to hear my opinion on A, B, and C. Not saying that people don't necessarily, but it also it muddies the waters when it's time for the art to come out. Like you're saying, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, because people get like, well, we've been hearing this guy talk about everything except what we know him. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But that's a dope way to bring. I mean, the status that you hold in this city and then outside the city as an artist is just it's so crazy to me, Lito, because I would hear your name drop when I least expect it, but when I heard it, I know why I heard it. You know what I'm saying? And that's got to be like from you, like personally. I hope that Lil Baby. Let's just start with that shout out. Lil Baby dropped your name. I think it was on the intro of My Turn. When I heard that, and I was platform on deck to be like, from consumer standpoint, I was just a fan of Lil Baby. I couldn't wait for the album to drop. Yeah. And it drops, and on the fucking intro, he says, riding around listening to Starlito. I'm like, oh, smart guy.
For sure.
Like I myself, I dig Starlito. I was raised in Nashville. I understand what he's saying, but it's like the most admirable shit ever. And then there's a percentage of the consumers out there that don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. That wild? Sure. It's wild as fuck to me, bro, because
the album was like double platinum or something. So it's,
for
sure, salute, shout out to that. again, like I value the things that you can't pay for, you can't ask for. Like people giving you your flowers while they can smell them. Like I'm big on that, and that meant as much as, you know, we've collaborated. I was on maybe 2 albums prior to that.
Yep, for sure.
We worked on the Exotic record, and you know what I'm saying, we got a relationship, a rapport. But again, like I'm not asking to be shouted out or thought of, considered or whatever, and for the, you know, their stature, their level, was like, wow, you know, like you were saying, it does mean something to me.
Yeah.
But it, like, more so that's not something you could
Hell no.
could even, you know what I'm saying, like
And that-
command or otherwise.
Yeah.
That was just an example. Like not to cut you off, but that was just the first one that came to mind because I mentioned it earlier to Chad in conversation. I've heard that, I mean, dozens of times from some of the most credible artists on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, we've all just as being locals and from here, like Lito is top list. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not many names you can throw out there as far as Nashville's number one. Go. You know what I mean? There's a very strong percentage that's going to drop your name first.
Yeah.
And I think that just goes to show when we speak about your character, and or at least the way we see you move from a consumer standpoint. You know what I mean? It's different. But I think you are you're from a different cloth, so to speak. It's the way you move is so it's fun to watch. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know you on a personal level or like talk to you daily or none of that shit. And most of the artists that come through here, it's a different story. Like I've talked to them numerous times over their careers, or same with Chatty.
Yeah.
From him doing interviews with them or whatever the case may be. Like shout out Fate, you know, but Fate's been here 3 times now.
Yeah.
He's family. Yeah. But it's so crazy to see how you've moved over the past 20 years of my life, and to be such a huge fan, and to hear, you know, the salutes go your way from so many different angles of the country. And you're one of the most humble people on the planet, it seems like. And the way you speak about maturity and shit now, I'm glad I met you later in life opposed to the early shit.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm right there with you, dog. I got kids and shit now too, so it's. But let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Fatherhood. You got one,
Yeah.
right?
I got a daughter.
Yeah, and I have 3 daughters. So, how's that changed? He lives through mine.
Yeah, I live through his, and then my lady's got 2 kids that are grown, a boy and a girl. So I've got 2 kids too with her, a boy and a girl. But yeah,
and Chad's been my best friend since 2007. He's been a part of all 3 of my children's life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah, Uncle Duty for sure,
for sure.
Yeah,
and I love the fuck out of that. But at the same time, I just through what we do see, we know that hit you hard. Like that's changed you. As far as the maturity tick goes, how can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you own it, it has to change you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's impossible not to. Like I felt the changes the moment I found out that she was on the way. You know what I'm saying? And even more so, you know, when she got here.
Yeah.
And in that moment, it was a different feeling.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I feel like it has to. If you are responsible or take your role as a parent serious, it's not about you anymore. It's not about just you anymore. And that's something. I'm an only child. That was a like culture shock for me. You know.
Yeah, because you were so used to. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to be selfish. You know, and even some of that is probably paced. You know, probably my hustle. Even it's just kind of laser focused, tunnel vision. Like a moment's feeling like it's just me, or I'm all I got, or if I don't do it, it won't be done. And some of that still, you know, probably rings true. But when you consider a little one that didn't ask to be here, and they go as you go, you know, even in the infancy, even more so, like you gotta do everything for somebody
Absolutely,
else.
dude.
Like that, kind of
everything.
Yeah, overcorrect and change. You know, change priorities, change perspectives about things. And like, you know, even now as she's getting older and she's getting into extracurricular activities, she's in school, she's in sports, she's in theater, different things. I have to even like trying to balance a career, something I had going 15 years before she got here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like I had to schedule this around my time with her.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And that goes for everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the money calls and otherwise, like my support system will make a way. But other, like, even down to studio sessions, I'm like, I mean, I got a setup in the crib, but there's a degree of separation between what I do
For sure.
over there and what matters the most.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I probably recorded 2 or 3 songs in the 5 years. I'm like in the house while she was in the house. Like, in the 5 years since she's been here, just because I just
Need that separation.
Right.
I get it, man. But that's another admirable tick to this conversation. I mean, to take that, I mean, you see it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? To where you know, how old is she? How can I ask?
5.
5? Okay, cool. Oof. Yeah, shit's my youngest just turned 3.
Okay.
And the more self-sufficient they get is like better on the toddler aspect of it, bro. Like once they start wiping their own ass, it's like, hell yeah. But then they start asking the funniest shit or they start repeating the wildest shit. Like my 3-year-old will drop an F-bomb on you, bro. Like you better watch out. And she knows that if she says it, she's going to do this. And like, you know what I mean? Like my kids got manners and shit. They're being raised that way. They will fucking try you, bro. And Harley, my youngest, bro, she is a devil in disguise, dog.
Yeah, she's
devil
great.
in disguise.
She's great. They're all great. All 3 of them are great.
Yeah, and that's the uncle. You know, there goes the uncle over. They're great.
Because we just hang out and play on the tablet.
You get to have fun. Like,
I'll give her some like Sour Patches or something and chill, and I'll go back to the house.
yeah, for sure. I was always like older cousin, and it's playtime when I was around kids. Until I had my own, it's like you got to split the difference of like, hey, I'm serious. It's really bedtime. It's time, you know.
Yeah. Just because you Uncle Star, they're going to take their time.
Yeah,
No, I'm saying when it's your own.
Oh, okay, yeah. Gotcha.
When it's dad. Yeah.
Well,
That's cool though.
so with the music, see, when was the last time Lito dropped a project? Was it
A solo project was June 2020. It was paternity leave.
Gotcha.
It's one that girl
Which
back
makes
on it, right?
which
Yeah,
with Jelly and Trip.
pretty much during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Coming out of the pandemic, and June Father's Day,
Yep.
2020, and
And you and Troy dropped the.
I dropped. I was gonna say I dropped a collab project with my guy Troy Money.
absolutely, he's been here.
Yeah, he's the homie.
Last summer.
That's
That
good
was,
people.
a year and a half ago, but yeah, my last solo was 3.5 years ago, and I mean,
But the
never
Troy
gone anywhere near this long without dropping music. So
I like how you said that with that little grin on your face. So
Yeah, dude.
that
Come on
I'm
with it,
telling
dog.
you know what I'm saying? Because when I look over at Starlito and he gives that little grin when he said what he just said,
Let's go.
that I mean,
gotta pay attention to verb tense.
you know what I'm saying? But
We're in a time warp.
Absolutely.
We are in a time warp.
It's my birthday.
it
By the way,
is your
happy
birthday.
birthday,
Happy
Starlito.
fucking birthday to
Happy birthday,
Starlito.
dog.
What better way to celebrate it
Yeah,
with your new favorite friends with a new album?
By the time you seeing this, my album.
So now we know. So fun fact.
Oh, come on, bro.
Yeah, dog. That's what's up. What's the name of the album?
It's called Love Drug.
Love
go,
Drug.
man.
Okay, dude.
Because I mean,
Yes!
y'all may not know how this works, but
Talk your shit.
mind.
Tell them. Fuck
You
it.
good? It's coming out on the 15th. So you good? Yeah.
Yeah,
you good.
Here's the fun fact.
It's the Marty McFly.
30
shit, dog.
fucking seconds before I hit record, when I fixed all the audio, I looked at Lito and I said, when's the fucking album dropping? I said
Or
something.
when
When is something
coming out,
dropping? And he, he wouldn't tell me off camera. So this is all fresh fucking news to us. We do know that it was dropping on your birthday, which made this episode even that much more special.
Yeah, and it's crazy because when we was set this up, like on the way here, I was like, bro, his birthday's the day that this is going to drop, and we didn't even mean for it to happen like that. So it's cool that it even happened that way.
Man, that's the way the world spins.
Yeah, man. That's what we call the episode too, man.
Absolutely. Congrats on the new album, Bubba.
For sure, bro.
I can't fucking wait.
Yeah,
We're in the time warp. I can't wait till today.
yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a break. So, the album. What can we talk about on the album? It premiered today. I'm sure it's fucking number one everywhere.
Let's go.
Available on all major platforms, I'm assuming, right? Okay, because
it's a full length album. It's called Love Drug. like I said, his first album I dropped in 42 months.
Woo.
Solo album. As long as I've gone in my career without releasing music. And 14 tracks. My guy Fate Eastwood in the cut, he did the intro.
Let's
Shout
go,
out Fate.
Fate.
Did the
My
first
dog.
track called Writer's Block.
It's only right.
Oh, man, that's cool.
It's like, you know, it's a lot of nuance and stuff to it. Like, this is the first time I've spoken about it. At all. And it's, you know. But even with that, like Fate was my first like in-house producer.
Absolutely.
Working together on my third mixtape.
Yep.
All Star Volume 3 was dropped in May of 2004.
Yep.
So 19 years ago. My career started 20 years ago. I dropped my first mixtape November 2003. So 20 years ago last month. But Fate and I linked 19 and a half years ago.
Yep.
And from linking with him, doing a record with Paper, it turned into like the stuff he was playing in that storage unit was like, hey, you got any more of those?
Bro,
shout out Paper.
Yeah, dude, shout out Paper.
I really like went to the storage and never left.
Yep.
And for people that have tracked my entire career, you know, he was my go-to guy. Like, on some day one type of time. Because prior to that mixtape, the majority of my music was jacking for beats.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was 18 when I dropped my first project and just really learned how to record, honestly. But all I really had was LimeWire, Kazaa,
Facts. Shout out LimeWire. Shout out Kazaa,
Yeah,
Napster, all that shit.
Right, whatever studio I could get in, wherever I could make the wires stick. And getting with Fate was like it was like a godsend because not only like I got to craft and create like original music, but you know it created like our own sound, our own
for sure.
Soon after, within 3 months, really sooner than that, because it was on the first project. We recorded Grey Goose probably within a month.
Classic.
Within a month of us starting to work.
I remember when the original one had Untamed on it, right?
Yeah.
There was like 19 and a half remixes.
That's the one I remember first, bro.
How many official remixes were there of that record?
It was like four.
Okay, that's
four
reasonable.
Official versions. We had the version with Untamed.
Yeah.
With Skip and Villain.
Yep.
And then on the Volume 4, Hey Ain't Healthy, we had the Young Jeezy verse.
Yeah.
Which he dropped in the storage unit with us. And
Fun fact.
We had a T.I. acapella that was from somebody else's song that we just the BPM.
We spoke about this earlier.
So we snuck it in there.
This is great.
I don't know if T.I. even ever heard it, but
Bro, this is great.
Yeah, it was fire, bro. That's crazy, dude.
We literally spoke about this earlier. We said, wasn't there a T.I. verse on this shit?
Then
I was listening to it on the phone.
Yeah, we went to radio with a version with Yo Gotti and Young Jeezy. That was the same one that ended up on Trap or Die. And,
That's so funny.
Else. We pressed vinyl and all of that. And then I did my deal with Cash Money.
Yeah.
With Yo Gotti and Cash Money somewhere in that time. So it was, you know, I don't want to say too late. Things happen in perfect order, but there ended up being a version with just me because we ran into some clearance issues.
With the Wayne one? With the Wayne feature?
No, with the Jeezy.
Oh, with you? Oh, gotcha. Okay.
They both had their own record deals. And, you know, just the business of it. And so we drafted a version that I had 3 verses on. And then, although I probably...
We're on like 10 or 11 now.
That might be 4 already, but then Lil Wayne ended up adding a verse to it.
Gotta take that one.
That's on this one, right? That's on Volume 5, right? The one with Wayne?
Nah, the one that's on Volume 5 would have had
just
the
the regular one
with Jeezy and Yo Gotti on it.
Bro, what's crazy is I first heard about, I've told Fate and Bezel Gang this, but I'm from Springfield. So I started hearing Bezel Gang, B.O.P., and I heard South Be Ballin' and all that back in like 2001. Before I even started rapping, I was just freestyling at school. I went to Greenbrier, though.
Fine.
But then...
Yeah, we kicked y'all ass.
No, for sure. Every year, bro.
That hurt.
Every year.
No, I mean, we did.
No, it's facts, bro. We were trash, bro, and everything.
40, I remember that.
We were getting dunked on every game, bro. We were getting dunked on in middle school by Springfield and like other teams. But that's when I first heard about just Fate in general.
Shout out Lito.
I found out about you and then I heard you and Wes song when you said I got some yellow in my jacket to get Springfield high. And I was like, what? He just said Springfield? Because I didn't know, you know what I mean?
Man,
But shout out Wes. Yeah, Wes and Stu both. Like, that's who I remember all that from back then. And that shit was a whole movement, like you was talking about with Fate. And I've spoke to him about this, man. It was one of those things where I was going to Platinum Bound and buying any mixtape that had produced by Fate Eastwood on it. It didn't matter if it was an artist I knew. I obviously would get you, all of y'all's, you and Rail and Paper and all y'all sticks. But then whoever had a beat from Fate, I was like, I'm getting that because it's going to be one of them sounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And y'all created that shit, bro.
Yeah, I know we veered off to the.
We're on the intro. We're on the intro to the new album. We can come back to it whenever you want.
No,
but
I'm still here with
Face in the room. That's the best part about this.
Yeah.
And yeah, he deserves his flowers. That's what's wrong.
Absolutely.
Aside from 5 versions of that record.
Yeah, from Grey Goose.
You know, which, you know, that was one of them things. It's like a pivotal point in my career, in my life. Because, and that was just one of them beautiful accidents. I mean, it was intentional that we made the record, but I don't think we made it thinking it would come with record deals and, you know, artists that are now superstars, like wanting to be a part of.
Right.
Talk your shit.
The coolest part about that song, the same thing you were saying, like about the shout outs, like every person that featured on those numerous versions of it, they all asked to be a part.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, because they knew it was one of them ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a cool thing. Like, I mean, to date, this is not, I'm not saying it's bragging, it's just a fact. Like, to date, like, I've never solicited a feature. I've never reached out or shopped to get a feature. And I've worked with probably hundreds of artists, but it happened, you know, it was at least mutual.
Organic type shit.
Real recognize real type stuff. Yeah.
Right. Or, you know, and I think that makes for the best stuff. But going back to that, like, you know, at that time working with Fate, it helped me develop songwriting, song making ability over just rapping. Because I was a punchline rapper with a 100-bar verse.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was a, you know, reform battle rapper, freestyle, cipher.
Yeah.
You know, I was so locked into them with like East Coast rap, even just, it was the words I was into.
Yeah, me too.
And Fate helped me like hone the, like, you know, more like musicianship.
The craft itself, like in composing records rather than just being a rapper.
Snapping like with dope bars. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And so it was just fitting. Man, I was hiking. I was hiking in the woods, and it just, I had to.
That's so random. Starlito hiking in the woods.
Shout out to hiking.
Shout out to hiking.
Yeah, this is how it happened. It was a few months ago, and I had an idea to like remake or rework a song that I was a fan of, and I reached the first person that popped in my head was Fate.
Absolutely.
And like, you know, and I hit him and was like, "Hey, I sent him the old song. I was like, bro, we should remake this, see if you can mess with it." He got it back to me like the next day. I was like, it was like perfect. I had it gave me the feeling I had back in 19
in the storage building. Yep.
Right, when he you know, flip a Mariah Carey sample. Or, you know, we take some Jay-Z acapellas and make a chorus out of it.
Yeah.
And, you know, things like that. Even one of those versions of Grey Goose, like the format was mixtape. It was free form. That's why we snatching an acapella from, you know, a relatively unknown record and throwing it on our record, because it's like, hey, we can
make it work.
Yeah, we gonna, you know what I'm saying, just get in where we fit in. And when he sent me that record, it writer's block. It hinged from a conversation I had with Don Tripp right before that.
Shout out Tripp.
I called him. I think he was on like Project 8.
Yeah,
you know, he's been dropping.
So work a lot,
month,
man.
This year. So it was probably August, September, or something like that. And I was like, man, I was like, bro, what are you drawing from to make all this music? I put out a lot of music in short amounts of time before, but it was never by design.
Yeah.
I probably just making so much music that I just put it out. Because I saw, I got 15 songs, let me put out a tape.
Let me throw it out. Yeah.
Versus, I know this is a plan. It's calculated, and I also know he's doing it. He's starting from scratch.
Live. And he said it over here.
That's
so
crazy,
it's a lot of pressure
bro.
to man, I gotta drop 10 more songs within the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
That's a different beast.
Yeah.
Bro,
So I was like, what are you tapping into to be able to do this like on command, on cue? Because I was like, man, I'm getting there. At this time, this was the conversation, just an honest moment. I was like, bro, I sit in the studio and stare at the speakers for 2-3 hours. Like I can't put 2-3 lines together. It was just the headspace I was in. And he was like, man, the stuff you played for me when we were in the studio, like, it's perfect. Like, you just thinking too hard about it. It was like, you know, it was like, if it's 8 bars, like, and that's all you got, that's all you got. It was like, just, you know.
Just find that natural point of it. You know what I mean?
Right. And it was like, man, if you made a song talking about you have writer's block and explain the feelings that came with it, people will eat it up. And I was like, yeah, I feel you. He was like, and through that conversation, I was like, yeah, a lot of times I may write 3 or 4 lines and scratch it out. And like whatever, and go to something else or leave it alone. So when he said that, I was like, man, you got me thinking, maybe I'll take those 4 lines and drop it. Then take 4 more or whatever, or 8 more or 6, whatever I got, and drop it. And I was like, man, I should put like the sound effects of like me scribbling out what I wrote, or the sound effects of the crumbling up the paper. Like this is like in real time, this conversation we're having, he was like, yeah, that would be hard. And we talked about other stuff. When we got off the phone, I got that beat from that conversation with Fate was like within a week of that convo. And so when I got that track, I ended up formatting the song based on the conversation that Trip and I had. And it was just kind of like.
Was that the first record you recorded for the new project?
It was not the first, but I then knew that this is for the project. This should lead the project off, because this is where I was in between of you know, I was on the convo started because I felt like, all right, I need to be doing something with this gift that I have.
Facts.
You know, talking about parenthood, I'm like, who am I? My child doesn't see me flourish or doesn't see me work, or you know, she wasn't here when I was dropping 4
makes sense,
a year. Or, you know, she doesn't know, and she doesn't have to or need to know the rapper. But I feel like it's my duty to, you know, provide, to, you know, do what I do, or make it happen. And if this is like my most viable way to create a livelihood for us, I need to be doing it. I was feeling stagnant and otherwise, and trying to get out of the headspace I've been in. And I was like, I want to do something. I was kind of feel stuck. So when I got to that point, I had that little creative like surge. I was like, this should be the first thing that you hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it kind of made itself the intro. Not to mention, like I said, Fate being kind of at the centerpiece of my humble beginnings.
Absolutely,
for sure.
It's just like I said, the nuance of it, like, yeah, my first track should be with like my first producer.
Yeah.
And, it wasn't the first song I recorded though. Ironically, the last song on the album is called "Retire My Jersey."
Okay.
And it's the first song that I serviced, you know, that I'm publicizing with the album and releasing it first.
Yeah.
With the pre-order and all that. But it's the first song that I recorded for the album.
Yeah.
You know,
ain't that crazy?
It's crazy how that works.
Last be the first be the last kind of thing.
But it makes sense too, though, like you were saying, with it being writer's block, especially with it being a 3-year gap from the previous solo project, you being in that space, it makes sense that you would lead off the project like that, I would think. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I definitely see what you're talking about with that. Because
it was just, you know, for what it's worth, the part of the writer's block was twofold. When I dropped paternity leave in 2020, I did fully intend to take some time away from, you know, from doing the whole rap thing, you know, full tilt. Like the pandemic, the times, and also like my child was like 1.5 at that time. When COVID hit. She had,
it's kind of a,
you know, just turned 1 and walk around starting to talk to me. But like, you know, pandemic hit and it's not daycare anymore. It's up under daddy all day, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, you know, allowed me to like appreciate, like, man, I'm even just her going to daycare for 7-8 hours. I'm missing things. You know,
Yeah.
she took her first steps at daycare.
Yeah.
The lady from daycare sent me a video of it.
Yeah.
She was trying to walk around the house and stuff, but that actually happened technically away from me.
Yeah.
And so like
That shit hits different.
being being at home, being locked in, lockdown, it was like I'm parenting all day, 24 hours a day. Every meal I'm preparing for, and you know, et cetera. And I just gained even that much more of appreciation for it.
Absolutely.
I also was at that time couldn't wait to get out the house and do some normal things.
Sure.
They're crazy. Yeah.
Logan could tell you we were renting Airbnbs, and I was taking my equipment to the Airbnb because all the studios were shut down.
Yep.
And I crafted that album in that space, kind of, you know, 1 foot in, 1 foot out from pandemic lockdown. But you know, conceptually and otherwise, it was like, all right, I'm going hard with this, but I'm creating myself some space from it, because at that time I was set on a 17-year run, 60 projects in, so I was averaging 3-4 projects a year.
Talk your shit.
And
60
for 17
projects.
years, so I'm like, I feel like I can give myself a, you know what I'm saying, a break away. I don't want to miss any of those first.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say you deserved it at that point, Star.
For sure. Especially with it, like you said, missing the first. I definitely
feel
see
like
that. Yeah.
my daughter deserved it as well.
Yeah.
It's like, so I did intend, like, as it was titled, to take a leave of absence, you know, for
It's fucking genius.
to be a
I
dad.
love the whole.
Yeah.
And but I will admit I didn't intend for it to be 3.5 years. So a lot happened in between that time, and you know, life be life, and
Life be life. And
Life be life. And
but you know, where I left off, the last track, Daddy Issues, was maybe as vulnerable as I've allowed myself to be in my music.
Fun fact.
yeah.
I talked about things I hadn't talked about in 1,000 some of the songs I had done, and that's also like, you know, the music thing is therapy.
Absolutely.
For an artist like myself,
I could.
That's become like my lane, my comfort zone. Is like, hey, I only know how to be me, so I'll just give you my experience or my perspective on
How I know to do it.
Yeah.
and it's changed. So, you know, I got, y'all mentioned Girl Dad with Jelly Roll and Trip.
Yep.
It's like a tribute to our daughters, or, you know,
Yeah.
Love it.
conversational. We're speaking to and about them. I got the Baby Mama Trauma.
Yep.
You know, it's like relationship oriented, interpersonal relationship with your co-parent. Like, so much of that album was very like subject matter wise. Like, I'm speaking to elements of parenthood.
Yeah.
Like, this was
Themed around it. Yeah.
this is new territory for me. So
Yeah.
Yep.
it was so theme driven. So I also came out of there like, all right, I'm gonna live, and I gotta figure out what to talk about, because I'm not gonna rap about those things every album necessarily. And as life was coming at me, my perspective was changing. The things I used to talk about, the things I used to do, I ain't on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll be less than to force that stuff out just for the sake of creating. Like, what my strength was, you know, even in the beginning, we were living fast. So I had a lot of stuff to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
We was going to the club 3-4 times a week. If that meant we was fighting, if we was into it, we was hooking up with girls, and we was getting some money to maintain that lifestyle. Like, all those things that's what you got. You know, I got all this to talk about, good, bad, ugly, in between. And that's like, you know, like, I don't do that no more. I ain't living like that no more. Like,
Yeah.
Also, I'm the guy that had a syrup bottle on the cover of a mixtape. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. I seen it.
I've been fairly candid. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the good, bad, in between. I dealt with, you know, addiction, drug addiction, or just lifestyle choices and otherwise, and it was what it was.
Yeah.
Like, but I ain't there no more.
I totally understand.
That's not something I indulge in. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to preach to nobody necessarily, or I can't make your decisions for you. I could talk about where I am or where I'm not, but I'm like, I also, like you said, now my daughter's asking questions.
Yeah,
So
for
when
sure.
I look at a lot of this stuff, I'm like, man, how can I best represent myself where I feel like it's becoming the person I am, the man I am, the man I want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Because for sure I'm gonna have to backtrack and explain some of the stuff I said on these older songs at some point.
Of course. But I mean, the excuse there is you're growing up. I mean, fuck. You know, when you end
Sloppy Jocko, man.
Sloppy Jocko, for sure. I mean, but I mean, and I hope to be able to deal with that accordingly or truthfully. And but I know I can control what I put out there moving
Facts.
forward, and I'm just that much more conscious of it. So that was part of I'm gonna take a step back and
reassess the scenario. I totally get it.
And then, man, probably a year and a half into that process or that break, man, when Young Dolph passed away,
R.I.P. Dolph.
R.I.P. Dolph for sure.
I was crushed.
Yeah,
I literally had no desire to be a rapper anymore at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say that was like a little over 2 years ago. I was just done with it. I didn't announce it. I never really even like went public with any of my feelings or expressed much about what happened, etc.
Yeah.
It's just somebody that I did 10 plus records with.
Absolutely.
That's how I found out who he was. Him, Gates, and Trip. I all found out about through your mixtapes back in the day. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, for sure.
And that was like, I already was pushing away from all this stuff, not permanently or whatever. It's just, at that moment I was completely, the love was lost for rap and otherwise. Or like I said, being a rapper.
The shit that comes with it.
Yeah.
Just period.
The whole ordeal.
I was just like, grief stricken and otherwise. And that was like, it got to a point after that I didn't even think about it anymore. I didn't think about when people would ask me, when you dropping something, I just give them a token response all song, and deep down, I'm not thinking about this shit.
Yeah, that ain't.
And that kind of extended the timetable from that point to here, to arriving here. But like I said, I realized something within me said I need to be making something happen. I don't want to waste away my gift. I gotta have more to leave behind for my child, et cetera, et cetera. And I just want to tap into that freedom. You know what I'm saying? That being creative and your artistry can bring out of you. And so I took a lot of those feelings. I took a lot of that perspective, and I channeled it on this album called Love Drug.
Yeah. Well, you said so earlier that that's your form of therapy. You can openly admit that. And to go through the things you just mentioned, fatherhood, time off, pandemic, the loss of Dolph, RIP. Yeah. I mean, dude, that's if Lito's got a therapy session coming up, this is going to be a good one. And,
for sure.
Man.
And candidly, the loss of a few other friends.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Life comes at us fast, and it was just a lot of that. It was a lot of that back to back. I was speaking on a part that
of course
affected my mindset as an artist. Or
absolutely.
Wearing a rapper hat or whatever. But I lost some close friends to like overdose.
Yeah, of course.
Things like that.
Sure,
and that it's in the framework, the artwork to the album. It's a pill broken. It's a heart-shaped pill, or a pill with the heart on it's broken in half, and you see a silhouette of a shoe. It's stepped on. Because like in today's age, the stepped on or cut drugs is what's taking a lot of people out. The overdose is not because people are doing an excessive, crazy amount of drugs.
Facts.
It's because it's been cut with
bullshit
things put, in it that don't belong in it, and that's happening. Like that's a real.
That's a real thing, for sure.
And so, like in the symbolism and otherwise, like I said, I mean, there's a song called "Last Time" where I talk about the loss of loved ones. Or I frame some storyboards, and I kind of borrow some lyrics from Bankroll Fresh, Nipsey Hussle, and the last verse is dedicated to Dolph. The first 2 verses are loosely dedicated to a few people. It's
Gotcha.
a wove of a few different stories and experiences with friends, people, and loved ones. And so, but it's a lot to it. Like I said, the nuance. It was a fabulous record that came out in 2004. That was one of my favorite songs Fab ever did.
FABO. Hello, US.
And on his, he used the Tupac line to start a verse. He used the Biggie line to start the second verse, and a Big Pun line to start the third verse. And it took me a while
to catch
realize that that's what he did. How he framed those stories. So I started and ended each verse with those artists because, like, I knew Fresh, I knew Bankroll Fresh. We met in passing a few times and we spoke. You know, it was cool people. I didn't personally know Nipsey Hussle, but I related to him a lot. And
Gotcha.
I feel like we kind of it's a lot of, you know, commonality there. So, but like I said, the Dolph thing was like, this somebody like I know, and I watched come up. I watched it happen and was, you know, cheering for him every step of the way. Was living through him, you know, as he shot up through there, you know what I'm saying? Superstardom even. So, you know, I finally like put that in, you know, written form, a song form. The title track, like Love, I said on Mental Warfare, 2012, Love's the worst drug they got out right now.
For sure.
And
Always.
So that line was kind of the centerpiece or the beginning of like naming this album that.
Okay.
Because it's like talking about addiction, like people having a love for drugs or dependency on drugs. I'm also talking about being drugged by love. Like, you know, the love you got for somebody can take you down through there. You know what I'm saying? If it's not reciprocated, or, you know, it's just so much to it. My grandma told me when I dropped out of college to pursue this, she encouraged me. It's like, go for it. Rap about love. It'll last longer. She's like referenced LL Cool J as like having this long career because of his subject matter, which I was, you know, floored because I expected her to be disappointed. She was a college professor.
Okay.
And it was like, I'm dropping. I was afraid to tell her that I was dropping out of college.
What year is this?
This was 2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was the same year that I dropped my first mixtape.
Fun fact.
Let's see, 02.
When she gave you the green lights when you dropped the tape?
It was right around the same time. I was still in school when I dropped the first tape. So it may have been 04. May have been spring of 04. But I wasn't going to class anymore. And, you know.
I get it.
It's like a player going to the league. Like, you're going to the draft.
Right.
Like, when we go to class. But anyway, she was the one person whose opinion I cared about the most, you know, on that level. And she didn't flinch. She didn't, you know what I'm saying? She didn't budge.
You said she referenced to L Cool J.
Yeah, she was like, rap about love. You know, it'll last longer, the shelf life of the musical. And I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Where I was expecting not be scolded. I mean, I was more or less grown, but I expected to be lectured or to get some disappointment. And I got like some real advice. You know what I'm saying? It still echoes. And like I said, the album's called Love Drug. Like I feel like those songs about relationships and the songs about, even if it's about love lost, it's like they last. They stick with
it. Does. Fun fact, this is in real time too. One of my favorite Lito songs is with Trip and it's 30 Second Chance. That song to me, bro, like it's on the playlist. Y'all hear me talk about the playlist forever, and there's plenty of Lito and plenty of Trip, plenty of Step Brothers on there. But that one, if you look at the play count on my Apple Music, bro, that shit is ridiculous, like scary ridiculous. Yeah. And the reason being though is exactly what you just fucking said. That shit, like, you know, even like OGs, grown folks, bro. If you give them a like, what's your favorite? What we're referencing to? It's gonna have something to do with love. It's always a love song. Happy go lucky love song. Sometimes a sad ass love song. You know what I'm saying? But that shit that has attachment that just doesn't go away. Yeah. Especially in music format.
Well, hell, I mean my favorite track of yours is the one you and Robin did on Mental Warfare, bro.
Shout Robin.
That one to me is still my number one. Like I remember, but too, like talking about the Love Drug. You know, you had the whole series too about I Still Love You, I Love You Too. Like you did the mixtape series too. I remember.
Yeah, same thing.
Vibe. Yeah.
I mean,
so
that was. I mean, it's by design, even having that word in titles.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's just it, man. We gotta love ourselves. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? We have to give love in order to be loved, received. Like when you were saying about me being humble, which I mean, I appreciate you noting as much. But I'm humbled by the love shown by other artists or you know, non-artists, civilians or otherwise. But one, because they don't have to. But two, because it reminds me that I didn't do this for nothing. You know what I'm saying? For it to be appreciated, respected, you know, however it's felt. And it's like, for them to be real enough or for them to be humble enough to admit that publicly. You know, the artists that sit on these platforms and say, I listen to Starlito's music. Like, I know that there's artists that do or have and would never admit it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've heard,
of course,
ideas, themes, tropes, bars, literally
absolutely
lifted. You know what I'm saying? Damn, that sounds like something.
It's very Lito-ish.
And they might even have asked, act like they don't know who I am, kind of thing. So I appreciate the other side of it.
Yeah,
Somebody says, man, this is my favorite artist, or this is what I'm listening to, or he's in my top 5. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
You know?
Chad said it on this podcast.
Bro,
we've been 200 something episodes. This motherfucker said that.
I told Faith. I mean, I've been saying it for 10 plus years because I mean, when you were All Star, like in the volume 2, that's the first mixtape I got from you, and it was mostly Beat Jack and stuff. And then when you did the volume 4, that's when you started working with Fate heavy. I feel like
it was 3
or 3 and 4 because you had Whole Name and O and the one with Gotti. You know, that's when I started being
that was on 3.
Yeah, that's when I was like, that's when that sound, and I had already heard Fate on all the BOP stuff, and then anything that you dropped, and then anything that like Young Rail, Paper, all them, like that was a whole vibe for sure, bro.
Absolutely.
And it's the sound, and I tell people about this on this pod all the time because a lot of people are younger that don't even really, because a lot of it was pre-internet, like the internet.
We speak a foreign language to people that
bro. Like
that's got my music in the digital. Man, servicing your music to iTunes, Apple Music, streaming, otherwise.
Whole different lane from popping them out the trunk.
Right, we weren't shooting videos.
No,
we
man.
didn't have,
not without a budget.
7 cameras on me right now. We didn't. Right, I mean,
ain't no budget over here, bro.
30 grand, dog.
Or more than. I mean,
for 480p, bro.
Right.
I signed a record deal, and I used to be sitting at video shoots for 2 days to get a 5-second cameo. They had buses and trailers and, you know what I'm saying, full production. You know, years later, I shot some of my own videos. You know, as technology changes and otherwise, but I'm like, some of it is less is more, and the other side of it is like, we got access. We got more access than we ever did. I vowed to never be like the bitter old head on some back in my day type of time. But I can appreciate the era I came up in. I can appreciate what we didn't have. Versus, you know, what people have at their fingertips these days. And that keeps me in pocket, you know, to want to go hard. There's no excuses. There's no excuses. But back in the day, to be heard, you had to reach out. You had to almost physically engage with somebody. For sure. You know what I'm saying? It was physical materials and otherwise. And now, like, my album's going to drop an hour before my birthday. And it'll be on the other side of the world. In minutes.
In real time. You know what I mean?
It's wild, man.
That's like mind blowing, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. We veered off of the.
No, I love it all. I love it all. That's what we do here too.
It's all part of the ride, bro.
But yeah, I mean, to like you said, a younger audience or people that got on board late with me and my discography or my career. It was a lot that predated this digital social media age and otherwise, a lot of groundwork. But even still, like, some of those ethics, some of the ideals are exactly the same or even more refined than like Love being one of them. I got a song called Toxic Love on the album, and it's more like male female oriented. I got a song called Conflict of Disinterest.
I can't fucking wait.
And it's like
links in the
breakup.
comments.
Yeah, link in the bottom.
Yeah, links in the fucking comments.
It's like a breakup. You know, it's a dialogue. But you know, one person wants to break up, one person doesn't, and I kind of shift characters without changing my voice. And it's it's conversational, but that's a love song.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? In and of itself, Toxic Love is kind of a little bit playful, if you will, but it's it's real, and it's a perspective thing. So yeah, the album it touches on those things. I make mention of I acknowledge some of my inspirations, some of the like important figures in my life and career on a song called "Be There." I want to be there. I start the record off talking to and about my daughter. Then second verse, the first half is like about a close friend, one of my best friends, and we may have kind of grown a little bit estranged, but it's like no less love, no love lost. But it's one of those things. It's like something I think about all the time.
yeah, and you recognize, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the second half of the verse is like to like my mom and grandma, acknowledging, on all levels, like, man, y'all at some point, if not now, moving forward, at some point or just period, have kept me like, focused or on the straight and narrow in your own way.
Yeah.
And I want to be there for you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. I'm acknowledging it in song form, showing love.
Yeah.
If you will. And it's Robin Raynell's on that song. She's on the last time.
God, I can't wait to hear the fucking record.
She's on there twice. I have a song called Don't Cry featuring No Cap.
Oh, dope.
So it's like there's some emotive things there. Like there's 2 records with No Cap. Another one's Pocket Full of Pain. So it's what I'm saying, is I would categorize the theme or the undertone of the album as dark. And I'm not making the music here and now. I'm not making this for you to ride to on the way to the party, unless that's just how you get down.
Yeah.
But by design, like this ain't that. I mean, that's probably somebody else that fits that format more so. And this being like a snapshot or a time capsule, which is how I try to make my albums and my projects, it's just a peek into my psyche or the perspective I got on things. There's a song "Don't Cry" and a song "I Ain't Gonna Lie," where I'm just tapping into talking about things like purging of sorts. Like I'm just really introspective, and like I said, it's good for me, and I also I recognize that it'll be good for somebody else too.
Absolutely, I can't wait, because in real time I haven't heard it. But with did you do it all in real time, or did you scratch records? Did the 14 that we're getting, or we were talking about how Tripp's doing it all in real time, et cetera? Did you take that approach, or did you scratch a few for this? What does that look like?
Man, this is
not that it's any of my goddamn business. I'm just curious.
We're talking about it, man. And that's part of why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I offer insight. The 43 minutes, the music is here, and then you listen to it again, but you're not gonna get those answers.
Gotcha.
So that's what this was for. It was I didn't have Tripp's approach and have a clean slate a month ago or 2 weeks ago or anything.
Right.
Like I said, to Retire My Jersey was the first song that I worked on, and that was
the outro of the current album, correct?
The outro to Fake Love. I mean, to Love Drug. The outro to Love Drug is Retire My Jersey. I actually probably cut that record 2 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
Just it's new to you. You haven't heard,
right? Of course, for sure. It's part of the creative process.
It's and there are a couple pieces. There's a song here and there that are maybe nearly as old or so. I'd say I guess technically began recording the project, like I said, over 2 years ago. And I mentioned what happened 2 years ago. I just kind of froze and was like, I don't care about this.
Yeah.
I don't care about this
for
stuff.
sure.
But yeah, There was, I would guess, maybe 3 records, and then one of the No Cap records we actually did before he had to take a little vacation.
Yeah.
Cut one of them at his house. Back then, I was in the city for a gig and pulled up on him. The other No Cap record we did more recently here in town.
Gotcha.
It was the other way around. He was here for a show.
Yeah.
And we got in the studio a couple nights in a row.
Fire.
We cut quite a few records, but
Ooh, fun fact.
That's dope.
So yeah, it goes back, but like even like Retire My Jersey, like, you know, that was a journal entry. So it doesn't get dated. It doesn't, you know, it's not obsolete because it's not a swan song like I'm retiring.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you know, when I am done, I'm gonna make them retire my jersey.
No, for sure. They're gonna have to, dog. Yeah.
Well, you say like a journal entry. It's just, all it is, like we talk about that therapy aspect of it. It's just a therapy session. That's just a documented therapy session that Lito was getting out that day. You know what I mean? Like if it just be something you have from it. The fact that it was I just think I'm like you. I just think that trip approach where you watch like playing every 3 weeks is fucking bananas to me. I don't see
different. That's different.
I don't see how that shit happens. That's just bananas.
It happens because he's one of the greatest writers of all time.
For sure.
Talk your shit, Lito. I swear. It's,
Yeah, I mean, I can say that he's on the album. Don Tripp's on.
Oh, great!
Album,
Fun fact.
on a record called "Put the Gun Down, Craig."
Put the gun down, Craig.
And funny story with that.
Fun fact.
The producer, Jeffrey Kitchen, and DT the Kid. I think they did 5. I think they did 5 records, 5 or 6 on the project.
Oh, yeah, he was here with.
Yeah, Chef was with him when Trip came through.
Shout out to him, man.
He did Retire My Jersey, which was, like I said, the first one I started working on. So, as he's just been sending tracks my way, we've been in the studio down his way when I'm working with Trip, and he's done I think the majority of all these projects from Trip.
Yeah,
this year. He's pretty much in-house, like you said, they travel together.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Chef and DT.
Absolutely.
I sent some of the reference tracks. I was sending some of the roughs to the songs I had done to Chef to, you know, make sure the beats were still available and otherwise. So I was letting them know, like, this one, I dropped something on this beat. I sent them a couple songs, and a couple of them were incomplete. Just maybe had one verse on there, but I didn't want to cut the record and then the beat not be available anymore. So at a show in Memphis with Trip, actually, and I stopped by the studio before the show, I think, and Chef hit the space bar, and he's playing Put the Gun Down, beat. Craig. And no, he's playing a song.
Okay.
I sent it to him, and I was, you know, I didn't think anything of it. I thought he just wanted to hear it. And after my verse goes off, just, you know, going crazy. Like, I didn't even talk to him about it.
I like this.
Right. Yeah, it's funny. It's deep. He deboed his way onto the song.
That's some Dallin Brennan shit, dog. That's Dallin Brennan shit.
Yeah, for sure. But he killed it though, and it was like a surprise to him. It was like I was surprising you. You know,
that's great.
That's our relationship. You know
no, that's cool though, man.
So yeah, he, like when I was saying, he's one of the best writers of this generation. Yeah, he killed that. He does what he always does when he tries to kill me, tries to chop my head off on all the songs we do.
That's funny.
Know, he rapped for fucking 30-something bars straight, and I mean it's an amazing verse. I love the song. Like, and that's the thing. Like, he improved the song. He took the song, you know, over the top, and I get lost in his verse and almost forget I got a verse on there even. But yeah, and it's the same thing. Like, I'm the premise of that was, you know, taken from Friday. We call each other Craig. This is kind of inside thing, but from the movie Friday, you know, when Pops is telling Ice Cube's character to put the gun down.
Yeah.
Put the gun down, Craig.
Yeah.
Put the gun down.
R.I.P. Mr. Witherspoon, man.
For sure.
Yeah, I actually kicked it with him in the club.
Flex.
That's great.
Major flex.
Bang, bang, bang.
Shit. Like, we kicked it too. It was
that's cool.
Level 88, I think.
Oh, shit.
Probably like 06 or something like that.
Damn it, man.
That's great.
He was turned up off Grey Goose, and we was partying hard. It was like cool. best experience.
That's a great dude. To say that you partied with John Witherspoon in the
Is a flex.
freaking. That's fucking awesome, dude.
It's one of them random things. I've had some random experiences in my life.
Yeah.
but
I can only imagine.
that was one. But yeah, it was like I was speaking from, being in like, gun violence is like a theme. It's a overarching theme in hip hop.
Right.
You don't gotta rap that good anymore. It's like they believe
More guns you got.
Yeah, you a shooter. You know what I'm saying. You being shot is a badge of honor. Like in hip hop, it's warped. It's twisted. Like the way I'm not gonna say but the way hip hop, and the culture in some spaces props up violence and gun violence and stuff. Like, man, that shit is scary.
Well, it's like a fucking merit badge though, bro. They wear it too. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm
for sure.
I understand both sides of it. The same way we like you mature or you think better of things, and I can understand the why or how it gets there. Just from where I come from. Yeah, and I also understand that it's bullshit and it's not always necessary.
No, for sure.
And so it's like I'm
which one's right?
Yeah, I'm giving you that. Like, have you been? I think it begins. You ever been right in the line of fire? Well, how the fuck you gonna tell me? To stand down or how?
Yeah.
You haven't been in that situation.
How can I stand down after it's gone that far? Or why should I? You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like, prospectively, like, hey, who am I? Like I said, I can't preach to somebody and tell them, hey, don't do that, man. You shouldn't do that. Because I don't know what got you to that point.
Right.
To why you feel like that. But I do feel like there's an audience or there's a core of people that don't know any better. And if they take it as the gospel, oh shit, I need to go give me a gun. Or I gotta, it's probably some youngins that feel like to be a rapper, I need a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dude,
like,
for sure.
Or the merit of getting shot or going to jail for 4 years or whatever the fuck.
Any other, you know what I'm saying?
A major charge of some sort.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So it's like, I've just explored. Explored and but like I said, Trip took it somewhere else, and he smashed the record. I mean,
hell yeah,
and that's our collaborations are just they typically like pure like that.
Yeah.
And that's I'm trying to think. I was kind of skipping around in my head around the track.
I love it. The fact that there's 14 new in real time when you guys see this, there's 14 new Lito records and a whole new project, and it's his birthday. That's the most exciting part of the conversation. And in real time, the fact that me or Chatty, neither one of us have heard any of them is even better. We didn't even know about the fucking album until he sat down. 20 minutes into the conversation, I think is when it happened.
I had a feeling there would be something. I didn't know if it was an album. I thought maybe a single or an EP, maybe. But here's something I could ask you. When we had Trip on, Trip made mention because everybody was asking about Step Brothers 4. Can you also confirm that Step Brothers 4 is happening?
Yeah, for sure. Step Brothers for life.
Let's go.
Love that. Yeah, I think we finally got him to admittedly say that late in the episode.
Yeah, we did.
He kind of said it
too. We were like, David, can we ask? He's like,
yeah. He kind of said like you did. It's like a Step Brothers for life, or like of course, like that's always going to happen type shit. But
yeah. I mean, I'm proud to say we've been working for 12 plus years now. Yeah. First Step Brothers dropped 2011.
Dat Piff, I remember that shit, dog.
Right.
R.I.P. Dat Piff.
That shit went crazy, dude. On Dat Piff.
It happens. Rap groups shelf lives, I guess, are short.
Yeah.
Internal conflict, business, whatever undoes stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm proud to say, like we've never had like a disconnect. We never had a falling out. Like even. It's been some time between releases, and it's because like we're solo artists by trade or by nature. We met as two people on their own paths and journeys, and we just put it together. We had 3 sessions to create Step Brothers 1.
Yeah.
So,
oh wow, that's crazy.
So I think maybe the one thing that works against us is knowing that it's as simple as making it happen. Same way bros putting an album together in a week's time, or whatever. We know, like, if when we have and make the time, we can get it done. There's also the part of it that we want it to be pure. You know, coming out of Step Brothers 3, which was, you know, charted well. We toured the country, did 43 cities together. On the back of that, like, you know, I got in some trouble not that long after we got off tour. And that kind of shifted the timetable because our game plan at that time was to go right into 4. Yeah, I got into trouble. Bro really never stopped having kids during that time. And then a year later, as I was getting out of some of the trouble I was in, then my child was on the way. So it was just like,
pause.
Man, it was like
things just,
life be life, and
right, exactly. Yeah. But we're closer then. I mean, we're closer now than we were even then, and it's never been a divide. You know? I mean, I'm out of his 11 tapes this year. I'm featured on more than half of them.
Yeah, I look at it every time he drops a new one. I'm like, I wonder if he's got Starlito on this one. And almost every time,
because that's where we know we'll probably get or hopefully get one. You know what I mean? A Lido feature is what I'm saying.
Hey, you snapped on that Eddie Valero project too, bro.
Shout out Eddie Valero.
Yeah, shout out to Eddie. But you and him snapped on that one. I remember seeing that one.
One dope thing to recognize while we talk about the OG stats, where you talk about like going from, you know, when you started moving up to the way the world spins now, as far as the digital market goes, that's dope as fuck to recognize like the growth of you as an independent artist, plus being part of Step Brothers and Trip being an independent artist, or y'all moving in y'all's own ways, but still collaborative here and there. But it's like the attachment that comes with those two names. You know what I'm saying? I think that's dope as fuck, especially on the tear that Trip's been on this past year, and everyone being anxious for a new Lido project. Yeah. It's only going to help that much more, if you ask me. You know what I mean? From that aspect of it, from like, I've heard of this guy. If they're not tapped in yet, you know what I'm saying? Because in real time, when this comes out, I'm sure you're sitting nice on the charts right now.
You should be. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just kind of how it works for Lido. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. I mean, I hope so.
It's pretty probable.
That doesn't. I don't measure myself or my self-worth versus that.
Of course not.
I think it's great, you know, whatever metric system, or and it's a cool achievement or accomplishment because it's something that I never imagined.
Yeah,
you know, I remember charting for the first time as an independent artist like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
and even then I was prepared to put that project out the mixtape route, like I'm talking about the live mixtapes.
Yeah, numbers wasn't even a question. What about any of that?
You know, I got this distribution deal, and shout out to Street Symphony. He plugged me with the people in Empire, and they were relative like unknown to me at the time even. But I'm like, whatever. I put the Cold Turkey project together, and was like, all right, you know, what do I need to do differently than if it was a mixtape project or, you know, free release and otherwise. And I charted, you know, Billboard 200 or whatever it is, but it was, top 100. I actually went number 1 on the Heat Seekers, the indie chart. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, you know, when I got an email with that stuff, I was like, yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Because up to a few weeks ago, I would have been prepared to just give this away.
Right.
You know, and they're not even be eligible for this.
Yeah.
Man, that was a moment when I was like, I realized that what I was doing was bigger than I even could perceive.
Yeah.
Or that I could have known or imagined.
Yeah.
I've been moving around. Like I said, I've been active, I'd say, since 2004. But it was like, okay. So, yeah, if when that happens, I'm always like, appreciate it and even cherish it because it comes from the humblest of beginnings. It comes from literally nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it happens, it does, and if it doesn't, it's
not a loss. I totally get it.
Because I also know and can feel that there's people that want it, that are waiting on it, that are living on it.
Yes.
And if one new person gets on it, then it's job well done.
And that's going to happen.
I hope so.
And a cool thing too that I heard you say, I want to say it was the 85 South pod that you did with them guys, but you said something really cool just coming from an artist. Like when you said that you don't, I think it's something along the lines, you don't spend time trying to compare yourself numbers wise or just status wise with other people. And as artists, bro, it's so hard to instinctively not want to do that because everything's based off of algorithms and numbers now. So like, what is it that makes it easy? I don't know if it's easy for you to do that, but as far as like not comparing yourself to that, like, cause that's something that a lot of artists like is detrimental to them. You know what I'm saying?
I think one is my mindset is control what you can.
Yeah.
And understanding there's a lot of things we can't control.
Right.
And I can't control the way I'm perceived or received.
Right.
And so I shouldn't lose sleep or I shouldn't get caught up on, oh, they like them more than me. Or even they like me more than them. I can't get stuck on that.
Yeah.
I end up fooling myself.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's always more work to do and otherwise. But I just think, being present is just so important, man. It's like that's a waste of time.
No,
like,
for sure.
But like algorithms and otherwise, like I barely understand that stuff. And the minute I think I'm getting out ahead of it, it changes or it shape shifts.
Yeah, right.
So the best I can do is the best I can do.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just apply my ethics.
Yeah.
And what I feel like and what I know has worked or works for me.
Yeah.
I can remember, like I'm aware of other things. I don't want to pretend like I'm the person that's just so hammered and I'm in a box and I don't know what anybody else has going on.
Right.
I just don't get caught up on it.
Yeah.
For sure, I can see something like, oh, that's dope, but that's a good idea. I may try that, or I may, borrow some part of that and apply it to what I'm doing.
Right.
But, I think you'll spin yourself in a circle trying to keep up and catch up with everything.
100%.
I think I've gotten this far by being forward thinking and being progressive. When I was doing mixtapes and jacking for beats, because that was a lot of the music I was listening to in high school, and otherwise it was like mixtapes, DJ Clue mixtapes. It made me want to do that, and that wasn't common. That's not what was going on.
No, not at that time. No,
artists that were making noise were like indie record labels and original music, and otherwise I didn't have the resources to do it.
Right. Yeah.
But I also understood that like people like this too. If we listen to this song on the radio, I mean, at that time, I'm like, man, I could rap better than that. Or
I still play
something I can say on that same beat, and
I still play that lean back shit you and Rail and Fate did. I told Fate that a while back, man. That shit's what, volume 2 or 3? 2000 Fat Joe. Yeah, volume 4. Yeah. That shit. But yeah, that beat jacking stuff was back then when you was doing that. It wasn't like you said, it was more
it was more uncommon than common.
Yeah, for sure. Because that was early in the mixtape. Like that wasn't really the mixtape wave hadn't really happened yet.
It hadn't hit.
That was like a few years. Yeah, that was like a few years later. It felt like.
But it was like I said, it was going for what I knew.
Yeah, and you were forward thinking, like you were saying too.
Because I didn't really come up in an era of doing it any other way. I was just like kind of like, oh, okay, I'm listening to Squad Up mixtapes. I'm listening to Lil Wayne, and they rapping on every beat to come on the radio. So like, if this one of my favorite rappers, if I'm tapped into this, like I might listen to Squad Up mixtapes more than I listen to Lil Wayne's album. Like whatever the 500 Degrees, I think was the one around that time. I probably listen. He probably dropping one every month, every 2 months. I'm listening to Squad 3, Squad 4, Squad 5, way more than 500 Degrees. So, and I'm on the consumer side. So as I'm trying to bring some consumers in, it never mattered to me that, that it needed to be formatted like this.
Right.
It's like, wrap your ass off, get in here.
Yeah. Watch what I can do to this.
And it's like, if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. And like I said, some of those ethics just never changed. And the game's changed so much. Like
so much.
It used to be 8-bar chords, 3/16.
Oh no, dog.
4.5 minute songs.
16s are way too long
That's
now.
an EP now, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I've serviced projects on my label with
Yeah.
artists I work with that are 22, 23 minutes long, and it's a full length. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, songs are a minute and a half.
Look, it's just like okay,
Right.
that's
It's
how you just looked at me.
You know, it's times change, you change with
Yeah.
it. It's like,
That's wild to me too.
And shout out Trap, because most of Trap stuff is like that.
man,
He's one of my
he got
favorite.
an album that doesn't have a chorus on it.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I told him. Bro. He's one of my favorite rappers too, dog. And his shit's like that too. It's like
think
minute 45,
Spider
2 minutes. Yeah.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah.
The whole fact. I mean, now I take notice of that shit too, bro. If I find like a project of work that I admire, even before I tap into it, I'm interested to how long the project is.
Yeah.
Because, you know, on Apple Music, you scroll to the bottom, it says length of the fuck
Right.
there. But that's always like a thing to me. Even before I hit play, I could even mention how long an album is before I even listen to the fucking thing.
Back in the day, bro, you had 80 minutes on that CD. You were putting 79 minutes and 59 seconds on that song.
Right.
for
You were filling it up, dog.
That was-
Packing it full.
Yeah.
That was part of it. I
Yeah.
remember CDs used to be 74 minutes. Like
Yeah, they
blank
did.
CD.
Yep.
I remember when the 80-minute disc became a common thing. Like,
Right. Some big
I
boy
was trying
discs.
to fill up the
Yeah,
CD.
dude.
Right.
Like you said, it was, if they got 80 minutes, I got 76 minutes of music. I can fit one more song.
Yep,
on it.
for sure,
But
bro.
It's like, you
Yeah.
know, so, and now I think people's attention spans are
Oh, it's
shorter.
shot, bro.
You're
Because
right.
we got
Yeah.
so much being delivered. Like,
You said 14 new tracks on the new record?
I think it's 43 minutes.
43 minutes. Because I was going to say, you mentioned the time earlier on. I thought you said
bro.
43, but
That's dope.
it's the most 43 minutes of my life I'm so anxious for,
right,
considering the
bro.
fact I didn't know about the album till we sat down today. But man,
Love Drug, man. Y'all be sure to go get that. It's
is
gonna
it
be-
drugs plural or not plural?
Nah, Love Drugs singular.
Gotcha. Love drug.
I when I took out my phone, I was just checking the playlist, so seeing was anything I left out.
What'd you leave off?
It's 2 tracks produced by Tay Keith.
Okay.
Oh, hell
Shout out
yeah,
to Keith.
I got Cell Sizzle produced a track on there.
Mm-hmm.
Zips, my guy, he's also like both my and Don Tripp's like in-house engineer. He's mixed all of my music since Step Brothers 1.
Oh, okay.
that's
Fun
dope.
fact.
Hell yeah, that's dope.
He's,
The name didn't stand out to me, but
well,
if it goes
he's an
back that
artist.
far.
He's an artist. And
Okay.
So,
Oh, dope. Okay.
you know, he records and releases his music under the name Zips and also produces.
Noted.
You may have seen it in credits as Kevin Z.
Yeah.
Over the years, but yeah, he produced 2 tracks on this project as well.
Fire.
Yeah, it's I just wanted to kind of mention.
Absolutely.
No, bro. I want everybody to know anything you want to talk about that, man, because that's dope, man. That's dope that you're dropping another project, man, especially with getting to hear the inside of it and what went into it and what it was, what inspired it. And I think that'll give people more insight as to what the music is when they hit play. And you know what I mean?
Dude, between anything and everything we've covered this evening, whatever it could be, it's all blur to me, Lito.
No, yeah, for sure.
Bro,
It's big shit for us, man.
I had some shit to say, like,
Bro,
Yeah, bro.
anytime you got something to say, this is where I urge you to come. But besides that, Bubba, like when we go back the years we've talked about now, man,
Yeah.
we have been huge fans our whole careers. Like we've been doing this shit just as long. Well, Chatty, especially from an artist standpoint, but we personally have been well aware of who you are and been such fans of the way you move, operate, your contribution to the city, your recognition of the city, Fate did the intro on a new piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
that's fire, bro.
just the way your whole mind ticks has been the most admirable shit ever to watch from the outside looking in. Fast forward through these fucking 20 plus years of us seeing you move around. And you pull up on us finally, man, and us get a glimpse of Lito. And you sit next to us and just shoot the shit with us and conversate with us and watch me fumble the audio as we set up,
Hey, man, we still scored a touchdown, bro. We fumbled. We picked it up.
Oh, bro, we got the 2-point conversion. You know what I'm saying?
I say we. I mean, you did all of it. I just kind of stood and got in the way. But
still.
I blocked, I guess. I don't know. You got it. You scored that motherfucker. I'll spike it for you. Shit.
But bro, I'm so glad you pulled up, honestly, though, especially with the new album and
Yeah, man.
you know, with the clarity you seem to have sitting next to us right now, bro. Like you said it, like, you know, I'm not going to waste time or my talent or my gift and all that. Like, bro, please don't. You know what I'm saying? And I never had the thought for 1 second as a consumer that you were doing that. Just to be clear, just always been a fan, man, and always been anxious for more. And to hear in real time that there's more available now, I can't wait to tap the fuck in. But yes, dude, like you said, anytime you got some shit to say, Bubba, that chair is open to you, man. We ain't even got to turn the camera on. It'll suck if we don't, but you know what I mean. This is you
know, just the same. If I don't have anything to say, I won't. You know,
No, for
got
sure,
you,
bro.
bro.
For sure.
Like I said, it's just something that's come with it. Sidebar, the album artwork, be exclusives. My homegirl Becky, she
dude,
came through.
Huge fan. She knows it. Shout out, Be Exclusives. God,
she's been with me, rocking with me since way back when, day one.
Did the Grind Hard logo, right?
Yeah.
The Lido logo as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's stamped all around the city.
Of damn near all of my, you know, design work, graphic work, and this goes back to her airbrushing my face on Air Force
shoes and
Ones.
shit. Yeah,
Y'all remember the platinum bound?
Yeah.
I saw a flyer of her work in the store. I was dropping off some CDs on consignment.
Fun fact.
I was selling my music early on.
Yeah.
And I was like looking at this flyer. I had like Toucan Sam or something on some forces, and I called the number out the flyer. And we've been locked
Simple
in
as that.
ever since.
Yeah, I think she did shirts and jackets and all kind of shit, bro. She's crazy with it. Crazy with it.
She's one of the most talented people that I know. But yeah, she did my art direction. I got some merch that accompanies the album release. Of course, she did the design work there. The titling on the cover, it's like chalk. It's written in chalk. The title, "Love Drug."
Yeah,
that's actually my daughter.
That wrote it.
Ooh,
another fun fact,
man.
Yes,
you know, love it.
Squints can he'll put the artwork on.
Yeah, it'll be portrayed on the screen right now.
That way they can see it. The viewers, right there. Bang.
There it is for you.
That's cool though, man.
No, those are fun facts. Love that shit.
Encompassed in the
especially with it being Be Exclusives and your daughter. Those are great facts. I'm well aware who that is, and she's a beast.
Yeah, I remember her back in the day when, like what you were saying,
super talented,
doing all that kind of those custom pieces and stuff.
I mean, that's where we started, but it's so much, you know what I'm saying? We've done so much together, we've grown together. And you know, to have some of those people that have been involved throughout, like still involved and, you know, integral and all this, that it means a lot to me. It means as much as the journey, you know, the come up. The journey means as much, you know. So those people were there, highs and lows and otherwise.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what it's all about, like
growth.
Yeah, growing together, being able to prop your people up and hold each other down, or however you want to say it. Fade and I, we working on some. I don't want to disclose the details. So maybe we'll be back to talk about it when. You know,
for sure,
time,
man.
But we working.
That's what's up, man.
I think we've
I love hearing face working, man.
Yeah, kind of ignited.
Yeah.
Something, you know.
Yeah, we love that guy.
No, yeah, it's family, dog.
So when we talk about growth and we talk about inner city, and we got Leo here, what do you think about the regression of our guy Jelly Roll? What do you think about that?
Oh man, it's man, I almost get emotional.
No, don't.
I almost get emotional.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Every time, happy belated. His birthday.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's my guy, man. We're like kindred spirits. I feel like we came up together, like timeline wise.
Facts.
It's our journeys have kind of like
intertwined the whole way.
Intertwine, overlap, like in the craziest of ways. You know what I'm saying? But I can the same way that I spoke of or think of like witnessing and like Dolph's come up.
Yeah.
You know, I'm even more so with Jelly because it predated, you know,
right,
bro. I've just seen it. I've seen it from the beginning. It's like, man, it's amazing, man. It's amazing. I watched the documentary on Hulu, I think.
Yeah.
And So my mom called and told me to watch it. My mom's a huge Jelly Roll fan. And I was just like, man, I was just so proud. Like I that was the only word I could that really comes to mind to describe it. Like I caught up with him on this recent tour he was on, and we always talk about putting a play together, but I'm just so happy, you know what I'm saying, to see him achieve what he's doing right now. It's like superstar level. Like, hopefully he gets that Grammy this year.
Man, what you said.
He's got two chances at it, so we'll see,
It's like, it's surreal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's absolutely incredible.
But yeah, he deserves it. He definitely deserves it. And I'm truly like, it's one of those, like, living through somebody else. It's definitely a testament that, like, it's you never know.
Never know.
Never do.
How far any of the stuff go, because he's definitely, like I said, got the talent, always has, and put in the work, man.
I'm glad we mentioned that just while we had you, because I know you guys' relationship has been solid. For sure. You know what I mean? Enough to where every once in a while we'd see that Lito feature on Jelly Shit or whatever else. So vice versa. So with that being said, I think it's only I'm glad I mentioned his name before we got out of here.
Bro, I remember that one y'all did back in like 06 on that, like the Get Right shit. That was like 2005 or 6 on his Hey Go.
Wasn't there footage of you on the documentary?
I don't know about that documentary. I know I did.
I've seen something of you.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I did.
Maybe it was a music video.
I filmed something for maybe a different documentary. I don't know if it's been released yet, but
I think I know which one it was.
I know what you're talking about too.
I think we filmed some of it. We had some stuff on there too.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that.
Not the Hulu one, but
it was like I know which one you're talking about. Yeah,
but yeah,
it's cool, bro.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to watch.
Whatever. And there's tons of artists, but whatever small part that if their life, career span, whatever is a movie, whatever small role that I have played, or even almost just a fly on the wall for some of it, to just have a close vantage point for it. I appreciate it. It makes me happy or proud, or even. I know that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he's like out of here.
Absolutely.
But for him especially, like, he's as best you can stay the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's for sure the same. I meet and see and embrace the same person when I bump into him or when I talk to him, and I value that a lot. Like,
absolutely,
we don't have to talk every day. Just hopefully it's the same.
Every time you talk,
when we do,
no, I totally get it. Well, it's like you said when I first mentioned him, when you said it's like an emotional conversation almost at times. Same story, bro. Like he's been over here a few times, and the first time he came through, I fucking burst out into tears mid conversation because of just like you said, just that sense of pride. You know what I'm saying? Like, just I get it, trust me. But from your aspect, I can only imagine what it may look like or seem like to you. From a proud aspect of it, because
y'all came up together, bro.
Came up together. So glad we talked about this.
Y'all came up together, but y'all was also on different. I'm not gonna say different sides, but it was like y'all had different trajectories. Like the way y'all were going at first, like you said, y'all would
for sure.
weave and stuff.
Man, I've crossed paths with him the first time at Outer Limits.
Our Limits.
The Sunday night rap battle thing.
Freestyle,
it's Aldi's now.
And he won it so many times. It was like, he damn near couldn't compete in it because he was just gonna win,
right?
Kind of thing. I started off. I just go to the club on Sundays and we'd watch it. We'd be in the cut watching the battle.
Yeah.
This whole time I'm trying to rap. I'm trying to get my rap thing together, get it going. So my homeboy's like, man, you need to get in it one week.
Yeah.
Because I read things on the internet and we never battled each other in a battle. I think by the time I tried it out, he may have been done with it.
Yeah.
But I got in it one week and I was wasted. I was like hammered.
Oh no.
And I got destroyed.
Yeah.
I bumped into the guy battle some years later. I was like, man, you beat me in a Outer Limits battle. He's like he didn't even remember. I was like, yeah. I had to shake his hand. Like,
Yeah, and you said you were destroyed, and you do remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the experience of it.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
remember what I was wanting to say when I got up to the freestyle.
Right, yeah.
But like, you know, so hindsight, I'm like, to watch how Jelly even commanded that stage then. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Too, so early on, like, he was poised, the stage presence, like moved the crowd. Like he had, I knew it, you know, in that first like crossing paths. Like he got it. He has the it factor. He has a gift. He's cold.
Yeah.
You know, as I got into taking my music, taking myself more seriously, and otherwise a few years later, like we crossed paths and he got featured from me, and you know we crossed paths in all kind of organic ways, or just in passing, or just around the way. Kind of, we rock with a lot of the same people. Always have.
Yeah.
And it's always been, you know, it was always cordial, it was always love. And then as cream rises, like we look up some years later, and out of the generation or the time and space that we came from starting, we you know, we were two of the few still at it. You know what I'm saying? From like where we started, and we kind of would acknowledge that, like, man, you know, because he was still on the rise, and so was I.
No, for sure.
You know?
For sure.
And that was always a cool thing to see when we was like, I see you, I see what you.
Yeah.
And then fast forward some years later, this is a cool story. I was on that tour with Trip in 2017 on Karate in the Garage tour for Step Brothers 3.
Karate in the Garage?
And we were in Kansas City, Missouri, I think. Logan was there. He ain't paying attention. But we were in Kansas City, and Jelly was on tour. He was doing a nationwide, probably if we were doing 43 cities, he was probably doing 70. Some shit like that.
Yeah.
But he happened to be in Kansas City like the next night.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we were there April 12th, he was there April 13th or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And they had actually got to Kansas City like a day early. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking from Instagrams and whatnot, and we hit each other up like, man, y'all here yet? We here. I'm gonna come to the show tonight. So he actually came out, checked out our show. You know, it was just like divine intervention or whatever. That our tours were. And it was about the midpoint of both tours too. It was kind of weird.
That's crazy.
The same city at the same time, and like, you know, a kid from Antioch, a kid from East Nashville, both in Kansas City, Missouri at the same time.
Wow.
Doing
On
this
separate
music
tours.
thing, separate tours.
Yeah.
Consecutive nights was like surreal. You know what I'm saying? He came out and rocked with us. We had to go somewhere else the following day, but we linked up the next day and ate lunch before we got on the road, headed to the next city. And even then, it was just kind of like, man, it was this 6 years ago, 6.5 years ago. We were just kind of like reflecting, like, damn, we came a
long fucking way
to get here.
Yeah.
Outer limits, for sure.
And I mean, he's out of here.
Stratosphere shit.
Yeah, since then. But you know, from there, he's featured on Hot Chicken album. He featured on Paternity Leave. I featured on 2 of his projects. We've done some gigs together. That like popped out and came and showed.
That shit won't never stop though. Like that's just something that, you know what I mean? Like that's something. It's like we've been mentioning. We can always almost expect a Lido feature here and there, and then, you know, that's like one of them things, man. You know, like Jelly's always done that towards Lido. You know what I mean? And Lido in return, it seems like. Yeah, but sure. I'm glad we covered the big guy real quick before we were, because I'm gonna be honest with you, Lido, I could talk to your ass all night, bro. I've waited for this for so long. Like we've just sit here and just drifted. You know what I mean? There's been like, but that's what we take pride in over here is the organic part of it. You know what I mean? Like you can vouch for this. We didn't really premeditate nothing. There's, you know, we just sort of go and let you steer the ship. We just float along, make sure we don't sink. You know what I mean? But I'm so fucking thankful for the fact that you chose to come over when you did and premeditated, unpredicted. You know, this will premiere on his birthday. Yeah. Shout out to Lido. It's his fucking birthday.
That's the universe working, dog. That's what that is. And the album drops. It's all. It just was. That's the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah. And the thing, and you know, the intro with Fate, and it's sparking that. You know, the whole mindset change towards the new album, and all that, man. Like everything you've brung over here tonight, Lido, has been great.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm so thankful for you, Bubba, pulling up the way you have. And I don't know, like I said, I could talk to you for hours on end. I could ask you about a million things. I know we could go over 1,000 different topics when it comes to Starlito.
Yeah.
Anything else y'all want to touch on while I'm here? Because I don't
He said,
I like talking, you know.
bro, it's a proven track record. You don't talk much. You don't do this shit much. But from my seat, you got to understand, I don't want to ruin your, you know what I mean?
Fake, won't you come over here for a little bit, Fake? Can you come over here and hang out with us, Fake?
Yeah, look, let me hit pause.
Yeah, we'll
be right back with Lito, and we're going to sit down with Fate Eastwood. Don't move.
Yeah.
Whoa. Pause. It's your guy, Squint615. Just wanted to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to this phenomenal episode of I Got Some Shit to Say. Shout out Starlito. We really appreciate him finally pulling up on us, man. And what better time to do it with a surprise announcement of the new album. It's his birthday. The list could go on and on and on. Shout out to Star. Be sure to go download Love Drug now. Available everywhere, right? But if you heard that correctly, and I'm sure you did, Fate Eastwood's also about to sit down on this couch. Now, me and Chatty had no idea any of this was going to happen. It was all in real time. Shout out Fate Eastwood for joining us on part one, but he sat off camera. We bring him over to the couch for what you guys will now see as part two of this episode. So, shout out to Star. We just sat down with him for an hour and 40 minutes to discuss the new album, Love Drug, available now. But be sure to tune in this Friday yet again for episode 225 of I Got Some Shit to Say, the podcast featuring Starlito yet again and our good friend Fate Eastwood. They're going to talk about their collaborative efforts on Love Drug and also what they got planned coming, and you don't want to miss it. Only place you're going to get it is right here, ChadArmesTV, I Got Some Shit to Say.com.
Bitch, we got views.